All right, we're going to jump right into the video. We're going to be creating a brand new piece of content today using Surgegraph. Before we do that, remember we are doing the last giveaway of the month of May, which is going to be the winner will actually be able to choose between a few different AI writers, Copilotly, Voila, and Marmoth. So you'll be able to pick between those three, and I'm just going to buy it for you and give you the codes just for saying thanks for being a viewer of LearnWire and checking out my content. All right, so let's jump in. This is really cool because you guys know that Surfer AI came out with their revolutionary AI content writing tool. But we all know that they're not the first to the market. But we also can say that it is a big established company that whatever they are doing is probably going to be pretty darn good. So at some point I might have to dive in and check out their tool and see if it's actually worth it. But for now, I know that this is the best alternative or competitor, if you will, that I've seen that does it all. They do keyword researching. See over here, they have a full keyword research tool. That's what we're going to be going into right now. But they've got a keyword research tool. They've got now the content writer called Longform AI. You can do bulk keyword research. You can actually do get your keywords from another tool, bring it in here, and then it'll analyze them. So this is your full-blown SEO tool. And then when you come in over here to content writer, you can also go over to optimize existing content. And I'm going to make another video on that where we'll put a URL in here. Many of you had that same question. Hey, can we optimize already content that we've already written? And you can absolutely do that. And I think that if you even just put in a URL right here, if you wanted to copy and paste like, an article or content from any other AI writer, you could just put the URL in there and then you could probably just paste it in. So we'll test some of that stuff out in further videos. But for now, I just wanted to show you kind of what it would be like if you picked up the tool right now, and what it would be, how you could use it practically and put it to use right away. Okay, so let's jump into that. If you guys are interested at any point during the tutorial to go check out Surgegraph, there is an affiliate link below. I have been working with Surgegraph for actually probably about 2 months now, and I didn't actually bring any content because they were working on their tool. They were working tirelessly. I gave them suggestions on different things I'd like to see. So I mean, in a sense, a little bit like Matt Diggity was doing with AI, Surfer AI in the background. Obviously, he's a much larger YouTube channel and so forth. But I have been working with Surgegraph. And I signed up as an affiliate like over 2 months ago, but that is another example of that. I won't bring the content to you. I won't just grab a software and then start pushing it out to you guys if it's not ready. I didn't think it was quite ready. I gave them a lot of feedback and so forth, and they just kept taking my suggestions, making the tool better and so forth. And then they've really ran with just kind of knowing what the market is really needing. And I think that they've positioned themselves at the perfect time where you've got your Surfer AI that everybody's checking out, and then it's nice to see a lot of other people seeing Surgegraph coming up as the alternative. And so I didn't just jump on that. I actually have been working with them in the background. So kind of just give you guys a little bit of details on the background of what's been going on. So really cool stuff to see how they are developing this content writing tool. Let me zoom in a little bit if I can. I always forget to do that. I guess I'll zoom out just a little bit right there, so I don't have to do a whole lot of video editing on the back end. We're going to zoom in right here. We're going to go into the keyword research section right over here. So you're going to click on that, and you're going to see the different things that I've done right now. But let's go with the gardening site right now. I'm going to say something like gardening, and it's going to give us some suggestions, most likely right here. So we could go with gardening. I'm going to go with gardening tools, maybe something about gardening tools, and let's just say research a keyword. We're fetching your keywords. Hang tight. Here we go. So a couple things to notice. So there's not how many, it pulled in 193 keywords. I don't really know the details on where they're getting the keywords from, how they do their keyword research, but it's definitely not, there's like a confidence level, if you will. They're only going to grab kind of popular keywords and so forth that we can go for. because they're not going to obviously be doing the same type of keyword research that you would be getting in Ahrefs or SEMrush or a big tool like that, even Ubersuggest, where it's going to pump out hundreds of thousands of keywords for you to choose from. So I don't really know. That's actually something I'll probably work with them on the background to say, hey, what's going on with the keyword research? Where do you guys get your keywords from? Because when you put in a bulk, like a broad keyword, I would want to see more keywords, but there's got to be a reason why they only bring back a certain amount. But they do have some really nice information here. They do have the KD score, which is what I typically go with. They do have the opportunity score, which is they're going to take take the content, and you can basically put your website in and so forth. That's going to tell you what your opportunity score is based on where you should spend your time. It's kind of hard to explain, but they do have basically two scores right over here. But for the most part, you won't see like a ton of the OS scores. It's really nice to kind of see that the KD score as well. So I will try to get a little bit more of an explanation between the two and so forth. I mean, you can read, it says right here, the opportunity score tells you the keywords you should prioritize in the list by processing factors like volume, trends, KD, so keyword difficulty and keyword length. And then the OS tells you which keywords would get you the most traffic with the least amount of effort. And so the OS is relative. The same keyword may have a different score when placed in a different group of keywords. So if you were doing some other keyword research and then you happen to come across that keyword, it's going to have a different OS score most likely. So I think that the big wins, if you can see a low KD score and an opportunity score high, then that would be like a good one to go with. Gardening tools with names. Not really sure what that keyword would be, but they do a good job at splitting this up versus informational, navigational, local, and transactional content. You can also click up here and just look at long tail keywords. So it's only going to look at long tail keywords. It looks like that's like 4 or more keywords it's going to be pulling in, which is cool. You can come up here and grab a filter right over here. So that's the advanced filter right here. And then you can come over here also, and we just want to look at, maybe we want to look at informational right here, and we want to look at KD score of, I want to go with 25 or less, and then just push apply and see what we're going to be looking at over here. And then you have niche keyword found, check back in an hour. So it's finding some Ratchet professional gardening tools. So it's finding all these keywords in here that it's going to go out and actually fetch the data for that's new in its database of some sort. So it's kind of interesting the way that they are getting their keywords. Pretty cool stuff. But we have some keywords right over here that have the low KD score over here. And we can go back over here just for fun, and let's go, instead of 25, I want to go with opportunity score of, maybe I want to go with like a 60 right here and see what that will bring back. So we do have a couple right here: gardening tools for weeding, gardening tools for weeds. Okay, so both mean the same thing. I'm going to say gardening tools for weeds right here. Okay. So there's a couple things we can do. You can save your keywords and create keyword lists, all that kind of good stuff, right? But right here is really cool is what we can click this right button on this gardening tools for weeds, and it's going to take us over to the writing section over here, right? Gardening tools for weeds. And then this is cool too. We can select if we want a 1500 to 2500 word post, 2500 to 3500, which is suggested. And you can even go up to 4500 words. We're going to keep it on the middle right here. I think this is going to be a pretty beast of a post. We're going to need some good content probably. And then we've got, all right, so that took literally about 60 seconds, and it came up with a title for us: 8 best weeding tools for your garden, 2023 reviews. We're in the outline stage right here. And so we'll just go ahead and click on this, and it's going to take you right over here to the content creation tool, where we're going to be looking at the outline. There's all kinds of different things that we can do with the outline, but for now we've got a long form AI, and it's already come up with some suggestions for what our outline can look like. We have a lot of other topics down here that we can add as well. And so we have the edit outline. These topics are generated to maximize the topic coverage of your content. Removing or editing them may affect your topic coverage. So we're going to be looking at the topic coverage. We don't have any coverage right now, but we're going to go ahead and just push the continue button. So edit outline, generate outline. So right here is where you actually have your chance to make a final selection right here. If you want a shorter article, longer article, we're going to stick it right there and see at the 2500, the medium. It's kind of crazy to think that a medium piece of content now is considered 2500 to 3500 words, but that's where we're at with ranking and SEO. Talking points, questions, and contextual terms. So all you have to do is just push generate. I mean, it's just going to do it all for us. Hold on, long form AI is working on your outline. So it's going to use its artificial intelligence to create the best outline based on all the best topics. And this is exactly what Surfer is doing as well in their tool. So our request is now being in the processing queue, and it'll come back and it looks like it's already done. That was very fast. We can actually continue to make some adjustments over here. And, I don't really know if I'm going to go with the lawyer. We got radio host, salesperson, comedian. We've got these different ones over here that we can go with, journalists and so forth. But we can just leave it on actually the lawyer is the one that they go to from the start. And we're talking about gardeners, so maybe even a journalist right there, or a talk show podcast. I kind of think I'm going to go with that one. I just like that. Creativity, you can move this scale, make it a little bit more creative, and you can go and keep the readability. They have it set at 7th and 8th grade, which is where you want to be, probably between 7th and 10th grade. And so it kind of tells you that they kind of do know what they're doing with this stuff. You do want it to be, and this doesn't come out like this. I mean, if we're writing on a technical topic, even if you select 7th grade, it's probably going to still come out at a higher level, like college level writing. So now we can just go, we can go and look at the outline over here, introduction to reading. So it's got all the talking points in here. And then we even can make adjustments to each one of these right here. We can add more contextual terms that we want to. We can add custom terms in here. We can add questions. We can add a link in here, and it'll take care of everything for you if we wanted to actually add a link in there. But I think I'm going to do that on the back end. And so we can go and just each one of these, you can actually change it to an H2, H3, H4. We can do the drop down here and see what the talking points are for each section. But this is what our outline is. Choosing the best weeding tool, best hand weeders, best hose, best cultivators. Comparison of different types of weeding tools. So you can see it's a pretty nice outline, recap of importance. And I'm going to leave it like that instead of saying like a conclusion. Maybe the recap right here is the conclusion. Okay. So all you have to do is just push start and it's going to go out and start writing for us. You can see right over here, the screen, it's kind of blinking in blue. So it's actually writing for us. And what's really cool, if you've actually noticed along the way, I'm explaining everything the best that I can. I'm still rather new as far as using the tool, but I'm trying to explain everything that as I go. And if you really notice, I've only done like 3 clicks. I haven't done any input. I haven't typed anything in. We've used the keyword research tool in Surgegraph, and then we pushed a couple buttons. We said create an article. We said create an AI outline for us, and then we said write. So those are literally just button clicks. We didn't do any input. We want to see what this is going to end up looking like. Our request is now in the processing queue. Thank you for your patience. And you can actually, if you'd like to skip the queue, you can do so with a custom API. So you can actually put in, I believe what that means is we can put in our own API key to make it faster. But that's the beauty of using Surgegraph, is that you're going to get the unlimited words and you don't have to use your own API. So if budgeting is not tight for you, then maybe that's an option for you if you want to be a lot faster. But I don't mind waiting as well. And I think that most people are going to be investing in Surgegraph, so they don't have to use extra money for their API. But it's cool that they have the customization and the ability to do that if you really want to do that. Okay. So let's go over here and just kind of look at, we've got all the H2s down here and so forth. So it is writing right now, and I'll come back in just a minute, kind of put in I'll just be mindful of the time. It's 10:58 a.m. right here. So we'll see how long this takes. We'll be right back. All right, perfect. We're back. So it was 10:58 when I pushed pause on the video. It is 11:02 a.m. right now. So it took 4 minutes. I know that some of the other videos that I watched, it's taken around 10 minutes to create an article in Surfer AI, just to give some context. So I would say to create how many words? 3,700 words. It created more content than we even asked for. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. because it's saying that we only need 1100 words. And so it would be nice to kind of see what this is right here before if it could do some type of check, to see how many words we need, so then we can make that decision earlier on. And maybe I would just suggest using the shorter portion to try to get this closer to 2,000 to 3,000 words. As you can see, Surgegraph really pumps out a lot of content. We have a topic coverage. It's saying a topic coverage at 100%. I haven't seen that yet, at a really, really high. We have adequate score at 57, but I'm going to show you some of the really cool things that we can do. But here we go. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. Yeah, there we go. That's perfect. Okay, so looking at the content, reading it as well, looks like there is a publish option. I'm not going to explore that option right now, but looks like if we let's just click on that real quick. Looks like they do have an export to WordPress. You can get the HTML, the docx, and the PDF. So you can also generate a meta description right here for this. That's really cool. So generate the meta description, and it is doing that. So discover the top 8. Man, they really are thinking about just about everything. I really like that. Target keyword included within 60 characters. They know that it's 160 characters or less that is needed. So there you go. They didn't work in this keyword right here, gardening tools for weeds. Gardening tools for weeds, they did. Look, they put that in the description. And I think that there's kind of like, you guys can leave below SEO wise, because there's so much content that ranks where the H1, right, the title does not have. Every SEO optimizer tool is going to tell you that you have to have the keyword in the H1. But you can tell there's a lot of SEO experts that say, no, you want to do a variation of that keyword in the top in your H1, because we're going to have the gardening tools for weeds. That's going to be in our URL. We're also going to have gardening tools for weeds in our meta description. Are we over optimized by putting that in the H1? You guys leave a comment below. What practice do you guys follow when it comes to the keyword and the H1? Because it is putting a variation right here. And if we go and look, gardening tools for weeds on Google. You've literally, number one is weeders. We've got the best weeding tools. So that keyword right here, I'm going to do a Control F and a Control V, and we're going to see if anything is optimized. Nothing on page 1 is optimized. So what Surgegraph has done is it has intelligently seen that a lot of this top rank, I mean, look at NBC News is ranking. Are you kidding? They're writing stuff about gardening, but they have 7 best weeding tools, right? And we come down here, the 8 best weeding tools. So this is the closest thing that it came up with, right? 8 best weeding tools for your garden in 2023. So what Surgegraph seems to have done is it did analyze the ranking articles, and it came up with something that is similar to the top ranking articles, and it's not just going over optimizing gardening tools for weeds, if that makes sense. So I'm going to stick with this. Actually, I just think that makes more sense. To not go with the standard SEO practice that most people teach, which is gardening tools for weeds, must be in the H1. So kind of went off on a tangent there, just wondering what you guys think about that. So we can go back over to the right and optimize over here. We can go and get more questions by clicking over here, add more, and so forth, right? But I just wanted to read one thing that I'm noticing. So I think that this first paragraph reads well. Weeds can be a significant problem for any gardener, and they can quickly take over your garden if left unchecked. Fortunately, there are many gardening tools available to help you keep your garden free of weeds. In this post, we will discuss the importance of weeding tools and highlight some of the best options available. And then it just goes right into a weeder tool so right here, we would probably need to put what is a weeder tool. So I'm going to say, what is a weeding tool? And as you're writing, I think it's grabbing contextual terms from over here to help you add those into your content, if you noticed over here. So that's really cool. But I'm going to go ahead and highlight this, and we're going to make this, where are we at over here? How do I make this an H2? Okay, we click up here and we can just make it an H2. So I'm going to put that as an H2. We're going to keep scrolling down, and then everything else, you can see the outline is just really, really smooth. Some of these paragraphs, I would like them to not be so long. That's just one critique. It would be nice if they, like this right here, that's too big of a paragraph. So you're going to want to come through here and you're going to want to separate some of these larger paragraphs. One other thing that you're not going to get so far on this, but you know what, I'm going to go ahead and ask them to somehow in their writing create the option to create charts and lists and the things that I don't know if Koala does that, but Agility Writer and Zim Writer add charts and tables, right? And they just look really, really appealing to the reader. And so I think that if they could add in some tables in here, this would just be, I mean, even on the next level. This is already pretty next level. We can come in here and correct some of the sentences with our Pro Grammarly account. And I'm just splitting some of these paragraphs up, as you can see, when it's just too much. So that'll help with the way it looks on the website. Right over here, that's a little too long as well. So let me finish doing that. I'll be right back. Right over here, so when it goes into size and shape of your gardening beds, I'm not really sure if that is information that needs to be in this article. So honestly, yeah, consider your garden size and weed type. And then factors to consider when choosing a cultivator for weeding: size and shape of your garden beds, adjustable tines. So I guess the cultivator, I don't even know what that is, to be honest, but that must be an important factor. And so if that is an important factor, then we would want to leave some of that information in there. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave it. We're going to go with it. But I'm going to show you the magic right now. If you've made it this far in the video, then we've got the magic button coming up here in a minute. So it does sum it up. Using a right weeding tool can significantly reduce gardening time and effort while maintaining a weed-free garden, blah, 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 blah. Okay. And of course, you can do all kinds of things. You have the rewrite button: simplify, expand, write with terms, and write more. Super cool. So we've got a 57. Let's make this better. We're going to go to the SEO section over here, and we're going to scroll down here. This is brand new that I just came out with like this week. Analyze content for auto optimization. So I'm going to go ahead and say auto optimize. And so you can see analyzing your content. We're at 52%. So this is faster than it was even like yesterday in my testing. So that's really cool. It's going to analyze our content, formulating relevant SEO suggestions. So this will take a couple minutes. We'll come right back. All right. So that took a few minutes. So if you're in like a rush to get your content out or whatever, that, I mean, really, if you don't have, 3 to 5 minutes to spare for it to do its auto optimizing, because it's going to take longer than that to do it yourself or to use any other tool. So really, I don't think that we can really complain about the speed when it's going and auto optimizing our content. It hasn't done it yet, but it's showing 137 items that can be auto optimized. Just think about that. 137 things in the background that can be auto optimized. We are in optimized view right now. We can actually come in through here and look at the different suggestions. I showed this in my video yesterday, but basically it's going to take a bunch of contextual NLP LSI keywords, and it's going to fit them in naturally into paragraphs, right? As we go down, it's going to auto fit them into different paragraphs down here, right? So you can actually see what the different, the title's already good out of the box. And we've already seen that the optimized URL would be good as well. I actually wouldn't go at the top. I would just go gardening tools for weeds as my URL, and I would trim off top 8 picks for sure, because if you want to come in and switch it and add 2 more and you'd have 10, then you could do that, right, without changing the URL. Add contextual terms. So look at all these different keywords that we are going to be adding in here like crazy. And so all I'm going to do is just push accept all right here, accept all, and our score was a 57. We'll see what happens next. So look at all the optimized right here. Boom, 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 boom. One thing I wanted to do, I forgot to do, was I went to go to NeuronWriter, and I just wanted to see what the content score was right out of the gates without all those changes in NeuronWriter, because I know some of you are probably interested in that as well. But nonetheless, let's see what it says in NeuronWriter versus what Surge has after we do the auto optimize button. So we're going to come back up here. I'm going to go over to, you're in auto optimized view. So I'm going to go ahead and push the exit button right there, and it moved it up to a 61 right here. So a couple of things. I think it's really cool that we went from a 57 to a 61. So it increased it by 4. I'd like to see it do better than that. Personally, I would like to see it automatically move it up about 10 spots. I think it did better yesterday. when I showed this in my video from yesterday. So I'd like to see it do just a little bit more, but it still instantly does increase it by, on average, probably about 5 points, the auto optimizer. I think that they'll get better at it, and we'll be able to see our scores go up even more. But for now, that's about what you could expect. We optimize all those. Okay, so I don't know why it went back into that view. All right, so a couple of things that I want to do is I want to go ahead and take our title for fun, and I want to go and put this in NeuronWriter. So we're going to go back over here to meta, throw that in, go back over here, and let's grab we had our meta description earlier. I don't know what happened to it, but I'm going to go ahead and just grab this. And that's cool to get it to do that 2 times live for you on this video, that it keeps it under 160 characters. That's cool. We'll go throw that in right there. See if anything highlights down here. We got a couple things that highlighted right there. We got a score of 21 right now. We're going to come back over here and grab the content now. Let's go ahead and grab, I'm going to copy that, come back over here. I'm going to push return once, paste it in, go back over here and grab the title, because you want to also put that in NeuronWriter at the very, very top as well. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in right there. That is our H1, so I need to go and put that as our H1. Okay, so it looks like we have a 64 right here. In NeuronWriter, we have we have an 81. So this will give you an idea of what the difference is with how strict, I guess, the guidelines are for what they say is a good score or not, right? So it basically means that Surgegraph is harder to get a higher score with using their tool. Because I'm going to go back over here to this view over here. We've got a 61. We've auto optimized it. And this is the exact content that I'm copying and pasting in. I'm trying to think, is there anywhere over here that I need to put the, like the meta score, right? Kind of like in NeuronWriter, where it would basically give us a higher score. But nonetheless, I don't think that there is over here. I think that, I'm not seeing like the place where you put in the meta or whatever like that, right? Because like in NeuronWriter, for example, if we go over here and we delete the title and meta from over here, then our score will go down drastically 20 or 30 points. But nonetheless, I copied and pasted over here into Neuron. I also put in the title and everything, best practices in NeuronWriter. I didn't do anything else. We didn't do anything else. I just want to see what the score is. And we're pulling an 81. So this is going to tell you the quality of content. If you're already a NeuronWriter user, that the content score from Surgegraph, and you can see all the green over here in the NLP terms, there's a lot of green being used. I'm wondering why we're getting such a high score. We can come over here and look at this. I mean, the length is just out of this world. It's too much. That's one thing that I would also, I would recommend with Surgegraph. I would just select the lowest, the 1500 word one. But it looks like meta title gives us a lot of score. The description, the H1 headers and H2 headers, we're getting a lot of gardening tools for weeds. We're getting a lot of big scores for having that in our H2s and so forth. So an 81, it's 11 points higher than the best content score, right? So if we come over here and look in NeuronWriter, we're looking at the best content to be is a 70, and we're pulling an 81, right? So it just kind of tells me that we can do a lot more. And yesterday what I did was, let's just do this for fun, okay? We're going to go over here to contextual terms. I'm going to show you the kind of cool tricks that you can do using these tools. But I'm going to go over here to view preferences. I did this in my video yesterday. We're going to go unused terms right over here. And I'm going to go ahead and just copy, let's just copy for fun. Let's just copy all of them. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go over to ChatGPT real quick. We're going to open this up. I'm going to go with a GPT-4, and I'm going to say, write 2 paragraphs, as if we need to make the content longer, but 2 paragraphs in the gardening topic niche, and include all these. Okay. And then I'm just going to paste that and push enter. I mean, it's really simple. You don't have to like do any like advanced prompting or anything like that. It usually works really, really good. Right. Bob Via recently highlighted a list of essential gardening tools and is just going to town, right? So this will be fun, just a kind of fun experience. We already know that the score is going to skyrocket up. And then I also want to test it, retest it again and see what NeuronWriter is going to get. Because I know this is the kind of stuff you guys want to see, is just these kind of fun tests and see how high we can get this score up. That's a giant paragraph. We're going to split that up. Again, this is too much content. I really wouldn't recommend putting this much content. We can also come in here to Surgegraph and just grab some of this content, maybe like right here. Maybe that's what we would do, is just grab that content and say, hey, rewrite this content, but include all these keywords. And that would be another really cool thing that you could do. But for fun, let's just go down. Let's go grab our content that it's done writing. I'm going to go grab this. We're going to copy. And we'll go back over here to Surge, and I'm just going to go all the way pretty much kind of to the bottom, and we'll just come put over here. And I'm just going to say some more info, gardening for weeds at NH2, just so we can kind of prep this and then paste it in. I need to do an undo. Where is an undo button? I don't see where the undo button is. All right, I don't see an undo button. I am going to go ahead and remove that and then right click, paste as text, plain text. And then this is just a massive, and I'm not seeing, so yeah, this time it didn't really work because the score did not go up like I wanted it to. Even though we added in all those contextual terms, the score actually didn't go up like we would have. Well, I mean, look at it's over optimized is really what's happening. So I'm going to go ahead and take that off, but that's one of those tricks that you can do if you want to add even more words to your content. But I'm going to go ahead and take that out. I just don't think that we need the more content. I think that the content is too long in general. But that is Surgegraph. I think that there's some, oh wait, we went from a 61 to a, okay, that was wrong. Okay. Let me go and just put that back real quick, guys. Sorry. It's because we're going from a 61, look up 61 right here. We're going to paste as plain text right there. And we went all the way. I'm not really seeing, like it didn't go up even after we pasted it in. For fun, let's go paste it in NeuronWriter just to see if we can get the score to go even higher up here just for fun. Let's go all the way to the bottom over here, paste it in. And it went from an 81 to an 82. So there is a point at which, you know, adding in the contextual terms is basically, it kind of cops out itself, where you don't get as much of the, you know, the increase in your content score. And that just proved it right there. We were able to do all that work and added in like a ton, like 30 or more NLP keywords, and it only increased it by 1 point. Okay. So that is how you do that. This is Surgegraph. You can do your keyword research in here. You can do this full blown, almost 4,000 words of pretty good content. I wouldn't say that it's the best. It's definitely not the best. I would say I would still rank probably Agility, Koala, and ZimWriter probably just a smidge higher when it comes to the content quality. But with all these other tools and the power-packed you know, toolkit that you're getting with Surgegraph, you're getting a really full-blown optimizer. You're getting that automatic optimize button right there. You know what the readability score is, the topic coverage right here, keyword density, internal links, external links. Remember the link over here? We can go and add these links. We can just highlight something like durability right here, and then we can go and just add one of these links if we wanted to, super easily. It really is a powerhouse SEO tool. So this video definitely did turn out to be a lot longer. It usually does when I'm doing these kind of tests for you guys, but overall, I mean, we can add more questions in right here. We can add more topic coverage right here if we wanted to. We can go back to the outline and so forth. So really cool stuff. Again, we can go publish. It looks like if I click on WordPress, we can put in our WordPress URL right here, our username, our application password, super easy. I've done that with Koala and Agility now, so it's super easy to do that. And then we can just push a button, and this is going to probably go over as a draft into our WordPress. So this is just, they're really handling everything for you. from the keyword research all the way to content creation to the optimization of the content. Super cool stuff. I'm going to do another video where it's going to be, we're going to take an existing piece of content on one of our sites and then come in here and see if we can further optimize it. So you don't want to miss that. Make sure that you subscribe to LearnWire, turn on those notification bells so you can get that content, right? And if you made it this far in the video, just hit that like button and leave a comment. I really enjoy reading the comments when you guys watch the entire video. It means a lot to me. So I'll see you in the next video.